Rivaling Jeff's hair this morning is Miss Tori Petry. Hey, Tori.
Hi, guys. It is so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Although I do feel a little bit gypped because Jeff is wearing a hat. So
Take it off,
I'm
Jeff.
not really getting,
Take it off,
the full
Jeff.
feel of the
Demanding
flow.
Jeff takes it off.
You know the deal, Jeff. Take it off.
Yeah, we got to see
look
the
at
flow
this.
here.
Come on, give her a nice
All
little.
right,
Yeah,
now I
shake
get
it
the
for her,
hype. I
Jeff.
get the
Shake
hype
it.
now.
Shake it, Jeff. Shake it.
Hey, to be fair, I don't got no product in it. All right, I'm slacking today. I'm sorry.
Jeff, give her a little shake.
Yeah,
Come on.
She's a guest.
I'm not.
Come
I
on.
can't shake for any guests. All right, you know what?
Wow.
It's just not how I
He's
work.
in a relationship.
I'm sorry that he's not welcoming. We're excited you're here, though, even though he's not.
Oh, guys, I'm so glad to be here. It's so fun. I haven't been in Detroit in a little while, and I'm back now. And so when Joey asked me to come on the show this morning, I was super excited to, hang out with my Detroit people, talk a little bit of Detroit sports. It's fun to be back.
Yeah, do you miss talking Detroit sports every day?
I do,
Yeah.
but it is nice to take a little bit of a break, have a little bit of a change of pace. I was here for 7 years, and it was an awesome 7 years, but it was just kind of time for a change. So life has just looked very different lately, and it's been fun and exciting. But obviously, being back here, it's like, oh man, Detroit sports, I love it.
Especially gearing up to football season. Like, we're literally a month away from preseason starting, and I know you got to have the itch, right?
I know that part is blowing my mind. I was looking at the calendar, and training camp starts in 2 weeks from now, which is insane to me. I mean, usually this time of year, you'd be squeezing in those last minute vacations, because by the time July 31st hits, I mean, you are hit the ground running, no breaks, no days off for 6 months. So it's a very different perspective for me this time of year. And I think when training camp rolls around, I'm going to be like, I don't know what to do with myself. This is so weird.
You heard that? I'm out of here next week.
Take your vacation, Corey.
One of the things, Tori, we were talking about earlier, and thanks again for being here, we were talking about how you are one of the few that actually know Dan Campbell on a personal level. And you've been a part of the organization for many, many years, and you've seen the good, you've seen the bad.
The way bad.
And
The way bad.
how is the energy? Like, obviously we haven't seen him on the actual field in gameplay, but Dan Campbell's got us feeling amazing.
I mean, guys, the same energy that you see him have in a press conference is the same energy that he has all the time. It is not a show for the press conference. It is not a show for people. That is just who he is. So it's funny to me when the national media will see something that he said and be like, this guy's just like, saying stuff just to say stuff or whatever. But he is just so much fun, and that is just his true personality. And I think he's going to be really good for this team.
Yeah, he already has. I mean, he's already given us just something to hope for, something to root for, and change the culture just by appearance. Because obviously, you were around for the last regime, and that was more of an authoritative, sit up when you're talking to me. I'm gonna roll around practice on my four-wheeler. Everybody's below me. You're dumb. I'm smart. I'm the best coach ever. I'm a genius. And this other guy, now he's just humble, and he's hardworking, and he seems like a blue-collar Detroit guy.
It's definitely a change of pace. Two very different styles of leadership, very different styles of players that even mesh with that type of leadership. I mean, we've all been in different workplaces where you have a certain boss where you mesh with their style, and then there's another one who just has a totally different style. And I think that is the case between the two different regimes that have been in place for the Lions. But I do really enjoy what we've heard from a lot of the players where they say going to work is fun.
Right.
We're having fun now. TJ Hawkinson has been one of the ones who has said that the most. I mean, I think they're having a good time, and that was something that that happened when they had the change in leadership last year when Darrell Bevel kind of took over. It was just a little bit of a lighter atmosphere,
right? And
I think that they are seeing that now with the new regime as well, where you can work hard and still enjoy yourself. And I think that is what we're seeing kind of around the building now.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about, because this is my first OTAs and minicamp that I've been to, and all the media there, everybody seemed very happy, very lighthearted. Media was really not on the practice field, but very close. And a few reporters said, hey, past couple of years, this was not that kind of environment. We were relegated to this part of the field. You can't move this. What are you seeing as far as from the media aspect? Is it a lighter environment? Was it a lighter environment to work in up until that point when from Matt Patricia to, Dan Campbell with a little bit of time you were there?
Yeah, it is a different environment. I think it's a different environment for the players. It's a different environment for the media that's there. That's just a different way of approaching things. I mean, Matt Patricia obviously brought in the Patriot way, and that was how they did it in New England. Is the media was, very kept in their place, and that they did not want to let on to anything that they might be doing. But I get the sense that this regime has a little bit more of an open field. They want the media and the fans to be able to get to know the players. Now, of course, they're not going to be giving away trade secrets and that kind of thing. So there is a balance there, because you do have to be a little bit secretive with things. And the fans should want that to an extent, because they don't want their coaches and players to be giving away all their secrets. But I do think that there's some value in openness with the fans. It creates buy-in. It creates a culture where people are excited about the team. And I think that's what they're doing right now.
So now that you are not living here in Detroit, and where are you living now?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
You're in Charlotte. So you get now like kind of an outsider's perspective on the Lions and what people say. And I'm assuming people ask you, hey, what did you do before you came here? And when you tell them you worked for the Lions, what is the national response to you?
I mean, I think you guys could probably imagine, right?
I can imagine. I just wanted to hear it from you.
No, but I'm always so defensive of Detroit, though. I'm like, you guys need to go to Detroit. You don't understand what it's like. But, I think that it's fun to jab around about sports and about, how the Lions have been and what their history has been. But, I had a lot of really amazing years here, and really enjoyed working here and getting to know the city. So I will always stick up for Detroit. I will always be the one who's like, hey, you guys don't really get it.
Right.
But, I think it is telling how we've seen some of the Lions players go to different teams, such as Los Angeles Rams or the Jacksonville Jaguars with Marvin Jones Jr. And now people are paying those players attention.
Right.
And, I think that speaks to what the, national sports media view is of Detroit, because those players were amazing players when they were in Detroit, but now they're getting a whole lot more attention now that they're elsewhere.
And that's sad, man. It really is sad. Because we had TJ Lang on a couple months ago, and he was even talking, like, forget media, like refereeing. He was like, I could do the same blocking techniques for Aaron Rodgers, but when I did them here in Detroit, it was a flag. And it's just,
I believe it.
We're so sick of this like skewed view of what Detroit is. Like, just give us a chance, just treat us like everybody else.
Yeah.
Speaking of your time here in Detroit, your coach, I believe, was just in our chat. You used to play for the Dark Angels. You were a wide receiver.
Yes, I did. Well, I was a cornerback.
Cornerback, okay.
Yeah. So my first year here in Detroit, you dive into covering football 24/7. This is all you're doing. When in college, I was covering a lot of different sports, kind of had a wide variety of sports knowledge. But then you dive deep and you're covering just football. And I was like, you know what? I want to be able to know football inside and out, know absolutely everything there is to know about it. Yeah, and so I actually went to a coaching clinic where high school coaches will go hear from college coaches. Here's our scheme. Here's our X's and O's. Here's how we run cover 2, that kind of thing. So I'm sitting in the back just trying to be super discreet, and somebody walks up to me and is like, hey, have you ever played football before? I'm like, do I look like I have played football before? The answer was no. And he invited me to come out to a practice, and so I gave him a call. I was like, all right, what time should I show up? He's like, here's the time. Bring your pads, bring your cleats, and your helmet. And I'm like, well, I don't have these things.
Helmet.
I was like, I was just going to come watch your practice. But they threw me right in there, and I ended up playing for 2 years. I was a cornerback, and I decided I'd rather give the hits than take them, which was a lot of fun.
Defense is fun.
I learned so much from that experience. I really did, and it made me so much better at my job covering football, because I had felt what it felt to give a hit, to take a hit, to be out there on the field watching a play develop. That was a hugely valuable experience for me.
One of the bets that we do here is Stick always thinks that he could tackle Joik Bell, who's on our network. He's going to be on at 11 o'clock this morning with Baligian and Bell. Do you think you can tackle Joik Bell?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think us combined, maybe. Like, you go low, I'll go high type thing. And we can take him down.
Yeah, Joik is a stocky guy, but we could take him.
See?
Joyke's a thick dude.
Dude.
Like, he's a big boy.
Yeah, his arms are my thighs. Like, the guy is just a monster. And we play softball with Joyke on Thursday
I
nights,
love
and
it.
me, Adam, and Joyke are on the softball team, and Joyke just absolutely crushes the ball. It's unbelievable how big and strong that guy is, and fast.
Yes.
But getting the glove down on the ground, sometimes it's tough for him. We got to get those errors taken care of. Right, Joyke? Get those errors taken care of. So, Tori, what else is going on, and what's your future plans? And, you're hanging out? You're in Detroit for how long?
Yeah, I am here till the end of the week, heading to a bachelorette party this
Oh,
weekend.
where's it at?
We're actually going to Grand Rapids.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I was in a wedding last weekend. Now different weddings, bachelorette weekend this weekend. But I love my Detroit friends, so it was a no-brainer when those two things fell back to back. I was like, I'm just going to hang out in Detroit for the week.
Heck yeah.
So hanging out here with some friends. But right now I am living in Charlotte, North Carolina. I kind of got to a point here in Detroit where I just knew in my heart it was time for me to do something different. And I think, we can all relate to getting to points like that in our careers. And it was that time for me. And I took a giant leap of faith and, left this job that was super amazing for me for 7 years. And now I'm just kind of, figuring out what's next, trying my hand at a few different things, networking and seeing what else is out there. So that's where I'm at right now. I happen to be in North Carolina, which is a really cool place. Still got all the love in the world for Detroit, but I am having a lot of fun just entering a new season of life.
Is it going to still be in the sports world? Could you give us any little hints, or do you really just not know?
Oh, I'd love to be back in the sports world. Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually. But I think that I was just kind of at a point where I needed to have a little bit of a transition and just take the leap of faith, not knowing what was next. So
Honestly, that was how Woodward Sports even started a couple months back.
Yeah.
Like less than a year ago. Still, that's really how it all began. We all had that feeling where we were like, all right, let's just take that leap of faith and start something new. So we all respect you making that decision, because we are thankful for all of your years here in Detroit, because you covering the Lions was amazing, but
Oh,
we wish
thank
you
you.
nothing but the best always.
Yeah, your
Thank you,
goodbye
guys.
video on your Twitter. Because Joey's like, Tori's going to be on. So I was like scrolling through your Twitter, seeing what you've been up to, and I watched the goodbye video. Like, that had been hard to produce.
It was emotional.
Was it? Yeah.
Really, I mean, you guys could tell I got emotional. That was authentic. I really
Yeah.
did. After the camera shut off, I just kind of sat there, took a deep breath and just cried at the desk, because this was 7 years of my life. This was the first thing that I really did out of college. I came here a couple months after I graduated from University of Florida, and this was my home. I grew up here. I mean, I was looking back at videos from my first year working for the Lions, and I think I improved a lot since then.
As you should.
Part of me was like, how did I get this job exactly when I watched those videos back? But, you guys let me grow up here. And when I say you guys, I mean Lions fans and Detroit sports fans. You guys let me develop my skill set, make mistakes, and you stayed with me, and I feel like we became friends, and this was just such a meaningful connection that I was able to have with people here in Detroit. And when I informed the Lions that I was leaving, one of the things I said is I'd really like to be able to say goodbye to the fans. They mean so much to me. I really have created a bond with them, whether it be on social media, whether it be people watching live shows or tuning into my videos on DetroitLions.com. I really wanted to be able to give the fans the goodbye that I wanted to give them, and the Lions were kind enough to let me do that. And I spent forever trying to write that video, and I just got a little choked up at the end, but I can tell you I cried 400 times writing it. I'm a very emotional person, and that was just such a big life moment for me, was leaving the Lions, because it had meant so much to me. So there was a lot of thought and heart put into that goodbye video.
No, that's awesome. And one thing that mad respect for you is, a lot of people don't know this. You shot him, you edited him, you did all of it. It wasn't just you had a camera crew and a whole bunch of people behind you. It was nope, there's Tori with her camera. She's setting it up. She's gonna edit the video, get it out. You did. You were an all-in-one machine.
Well, I got to give some credit to our awesome producers, because over the years we did get more producers who did a lot of the shooting part of things, which I greatly appreciated. They made me look good. But yeah, there was a lot of editing that went into it a lot as well. You don't just sit down in front of the camera and talk and then go home. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and I think that's a part of sports broadcasting that people don't see as much.
Right. Well, Tori, thank you for your time this morning, and thank you for your time in Detroit. And I hope you enjoy your time in Grand Rapids this weekend. I'll be over on the west side of the state. If you guys
Awesome.
get bored, I got some connections over there. I could set you up with some cool bachelorette party places.
All right, I like it.
If you need
Yeah.
a lake house, we'll rent you out Sticks Lake House
Yeah,
out
you guys
there.
could come up to the lake house. It'll be a good time.
All right. Well, we should have had this conversation a little earlier. We'll be talking after
Yeah.
the show's over. Thanks, guys, so much for having me.
No, you are welcome.